Welcome, everyone. We have quite a few with us joining today. We will begin with our webinar for career services from classroom to employment, how Willis graduates find success. A little bit about myself. I'm Asil. I'm the campus director for online division. I bring extensive teaching experience in accounting, human resources, and business administration, combined with a strong background in educational technology. In my role, I work closely with academics team, student services team to ensure we often offer all the students modern learning tools and digital resources to enhance student engagement and outcomes. My focus revolves around creating student-centered online learning environments. Today with us is also Michael. He is the manager of career services. The career services team is here to secure your practicum and assist with employment opportunities after you graduate. Mike is based out of Winnipeg and has 28 years of working in education. We also have with us Jacqueline, who is Practicum and Employment Specialist with Willis College. She assists students and graduates from a variety of programs with their employment and practicum searches. She's based in Alberta and has been working in education for almost 10 years. Before we move along, I'll just talk a little bit about the housekeeping. We are all excited that you've joined us today evening. As panelists will be only visible on camera. So I'm one of them. Michael is with us as well as Jacqueline. You all as attendees will be muted. If you do have questions, then as you see in the PowerPoint slide deck, there is an option to use the chat button, as well as there is a Q&A, very similar to something, just type it in the chat, like a question mark with a box around it. So those are two options that will allow you to communicate with us. And this session is also recorded. So do let us know as we navigate the presentation. If you have questions, feel free to use the chat, ask a question, and we'll take time to come back to the question as we move along with the presentation. The very first thing I'm going to bring up is a poll question, which is related to unemployment rate in Canada. So over your screens, just allow me a couple seconds and I will bring up a poll question, which I expect you all to answer. There we go. I'll hit launch. Let me know. A thumbs up or so in chat will help me understand that you all are able to see the poll. Do we see the poll question? All right. Thank you. Got a couple responses and increasing. Quite a few responses there. Give it a couple more seconds and then I will close the poll. Right, close to 15 responses. I'll give it another 10 seconds and end the poll. And over to you, Michael.
Thank you very much, Asil. So can everybody see the results? Okay, so correct answer. Oh, do we have to end the poll, Asil?
I just did, and I can share the results. There we go.
So we always like to have a little bit of interactive in any of the webinars that we do. So there'll be a few poll questions along the way. The correct answer was it is trending upwards right now, and there's a reason for this. So there's a segue from this into our first slide that I'm going to cover. So, Sil, if you can advance the slides. There we go. This has to do with competition. So, when you're looking at either continuing education, or if you are somebody who's been out in the workforce for a while and you're looking to invest in yourself and go back to school, right now there's a lot of competition in Canada. I had posted a job opening for a position in the department and had over 400 applicants. Many of them were not qualified. They were submitting resumes and cover letters that really had nothing to do, showed me they didn't have great attention to detail. But there were actually a fair number that had put some time and effort into their application, hoping that they would make it to the interview round. Canada's unemployment rate at this time of year is normally 4.8%. Right now, according to the Globe and Mail, it's at 7.2 overall. So it's not quite double, but it's really high. That means that there's a lot of people available to work that want to work, that are going to be applying for positions, and the competition is stiff. Some provinces, Alberta as an example, have their highest unemployment rate in 30 years. Alberta happens to be 7.9%. So the point to this is you need to look at what you're bringing to the table. You know, you go back to school, you've got new skills, updated skills, skills in demand. People are looking to hire individuals that are going to fit in with their team. So there's the soft skills, the workplace skills. And the theme to this webinar really is looking at how you can have a competitive advantage, but you may need some help along the way. And there's a lot of support mechanisms at Willis College. Career Services Department is just one of them. Syl's going to touch on some of the others later on, but you always have a direct contact for whatever your need is, whether it's your instructor, your admissions advisor, your financial aid officer, or when it comes time to looking at your practicum and seeking employment after you graduate and get your diploma, you're going to have a practicum and employment specialist. So again, this is just to put some context behind what it is that we want to illustrate to you this evening. Next slide, please. So want to talk a little bit about Willis College and the Career Services Department. I'm the manager of the Career Services Department. As Asil said, I've got 28 years experience working in the sector. The bulk of that is in a career services capacity. I myself used to be an employment specialist. Um, our department has a lot to offer any student, any graduate. We've got a national network, and that network is of staff across the country, as well as there are thousands of organizations in our database. Collectively, the department has 109 years of collective experience. I probably have the most, coming in at almost 29 years, being based out of Winnipeg. But we've got people in Sydney, Halifax, and Nova Scotia, Kingston, Ontario, where we've got someone who focuses on our data analyst through our AI stream of programming. Gail out in Edmonton, who is just incredible at helping the IT students in the cyber stream find employment, find meaningful work, starting their careers. Jacqueline in Calgary, who specializes in the ACSW, our Addictions and Community Services Worker Program. So we've got people all across the country. Julie in Ottawa, who is there for many of the healthcare programs. We can all work in the different disciplines, but we've all carved out our own niche. And there's a huge advantage to you to work with a practicum and employment specialist. So your direct contact to the department is that person. But what do they do specifically? So I'm going to get into that in the next slide. So it's interesting. Your journey when you decide to come to Willis College is, eventually, you're going to start off working with an admissions advisor who's going to make sure that, you're selecting a program that matches your expectations, that you can be successful in, that you meet the enrollment requirements, and then you're going to move to your dedicated financial aid officer who's there to ensure that you can pay for school and bring options to the table that you might not be familiar with, that you might not know that they existed. Again, your instructors, credible instructor group at the college, and eventually you're going to start working with career services. Now, we're going to introduce ourselves to you that first day that you're in school at orientation. And the honest truth is, you don't care who we are then. We're just wanting to put a face to the name. You care about who's my instructor, when's class, when's the first exam, how do I get my ebooks, how do I access the system? Those are the immediate things. Practicum seems like it's a long way away at that point. Um, and in some ways it is, but as you start to move through your program, you're going to realize how quickly time flies. And while you may not care about us that first day of school, you're absolutely going to become more passionate about things related to career services and your career as you move forward. So some of the services that we provide, it's our experience and mentorship. Um, we had a graduate program who great student. They were having a problem securing employment, but they were using a resume that their aunt had created for them. Um, that's fine, but we have the contacts. We know the best practices for how to apply for a position. Resume refresh and cover letter customization. Every job you apply for, you have to change your resume. You change the company name that you're applying to in your cover letter, but you also list the skills that are being asked of. You're going to list them in the order that they're asked of on the job posting on your resume. And Jacqueline's going to go through this in some more detail. Mock interviews. So if you found out you had an interview tomorrow, how nervous would you be? How many interviews have you been on? Have you had the opportunity to practice? We're here to help you do that. Job postings. We are going to send you job postings. And this is the important part of this particular bullet point. We're going to send you some job postings, and you may find them if you're active in your own job search. Okay. On Indeed, we get responses saying, I've seen this one, but thanks for sending it. We have an employer network that will send job postings directly to us before they go to post because they know that we've got inventory, brand new graduates who are highly skilled. We can help them find positions. So a lot of times we'll have people thank us saying, I haven't seen this posted online. It's because it's not. So that's the access to the Willis College network. And we offer all kinds of special events such as career conversations and a number of other things. We've got one coming up where we've got the president and founder of a technology company who's going to be speaking on September 25th to our technology students. And the theme that he is speaking to them about is a lot of recent grads say, well, I see job postings that are asking for experience, but all I have is my schooling. In order to get experience, I need to get the job. So there's that sort of conundrum. How do you navigate that? Omar is going to be talking to the students about that. So there's a lot of value add that we have. So this is the services that the department provides. We provide them to you for life, and we'll talk about that a little bit more at the end of the presentation. But now I'm going to turn it over to Jacqueline, who's going to talk about how we do these things.
Thanks, Mike. Hi, everyone. So as Mike mentioned, we provide a variety of different services. If we can go to the next slide, that'd be amazing. So we do this in a variety of different ways. Like Mike mentioned, we do meet you at orientation. So from the very beginning, we start to participate in your educational journey. We will remind you of our services at that time. We'll provide you with contact information as well. So if you ever have questions or concerns at any point, you're welcome to reach out to us. But early on, as you're moving through your program, we tend to connect with you in group type sessions. Mike mentioned the career conversations. Those are a fantastic way for us to, again, describe what we do, but also connect you with some individuals within our network who work within the industry and who may be able to provide some insight that may be of interest. We also offer open sessions, which are a open availability. So we'll set aside some time for any of you who may have questions, who want to get some information or pick our brains about applications, your resume, your cover letter, anything like that, we make ourselves available to you for a specific time period. And it's a chance to, again, just answer your questions. As you near the end of your program, that's when we start to do more one-on-one meetings with you. We want to learn about your specific goals, what your interests are, and really delve into what intrigued you about the program and what your ultimate career aspirations are. We will chat with you about your goals, your interests, your favorite bits about the program, maybe also about the bits you didn't enjoy, and discuss potential opportunities or stepping stones that might be beneficial to you once you are on the job market. Next slide, please. So I'm sure most of you are familiar with resumes and cover letters. They are the two key components to all job applications. They are very important, and they can be quite complicated to craft really stellar documents. That's where we come in. So we are here to assist you when you are creating resume and cover letters. We're here to review documents that you do create and help you tailor your documents to any specific postings that you might be interested in. Customization is key. So I always encourage our graduates to have a base cover letter and a base resume that they have available to them, but always plan on customizing your documents to each and every application. It really does make a huge difference when it comes to applying to roles. Standard resume tends to have a profile. It has key qualifications. We also want to see your education on there. We want to see your experience, including your future practicum, reflected on your resume. We want to make sure you're also representing any industry-specific certifications that you gain throughout your program. On your resume, as a new graduate, you might have some concerns about not having, let's say, relevant experience. That's where I want to draw your attention to transferable skills. Transferable skills are a way of positioning your past working experience in a way that shows that it is relevant to an application. Sometimes people are nervous about putting past customer service roles on the resume, but I encourage you to do so. Those skills in themselves are very important. And if it's on the application that they want somebody within, let's say, customer service or client care, you can definitely position that past experience as being relevant and valuable to the application. So resumes are very, very important. It's important to take the time to customize and craft a really good one. In a few moments, I'm going to discuss a bit about formatting. A couple of key things I really like to point out to students and graduates is that there's definitely some do's and don'ts when it comes to resumes. Definitely create a well-formatted, easy to read resume. That is your goal. It's estimated that a recruiter will take only about 6 seconds to review your resume. So make sure your application is eye-catching and the information is easy to find. That is key. There are definitely some don'ts. Sometimes we see individuals who submit a resume with their picture on the resume. That is not standard anymore. We don't advise it for a multitude of reasons. Sometimes it is considered standard in certain parts of the world, but it is not considered standard at the moment. With that being said, I also suggest avoiding adding your marital status, your date of birth, information that is very personal and not relevant to the application itself. So a couple of things to keep in mind. During your program, you will actually move through a course that provides some tips and tricks centered on job searching, resumes, cover letters, interviews. So you'll be reminded of all of this when it comes time for your career management course. At the bottom of the screen, we have a stat, which may seem shocking to some of you, but it is important to have it on your radar, that an applicant may go through 45 to 60 applications before they are selected by an organization. Now, these numbers come from People First Corporation, which is an HR recruitment firm. So it can be daunting, but again, set yourself up for success. Take the time to customize those documents. And again, you'll be giving yourself a leg up from the competition. Next slide, please. So a couple of really important things to keep in mind when you are crafting your resume and your cover letter. Advancements in technology have definitely changed the way the job seeking is done, both for recruiters and for job seekers. So as a job seeker, it's important to understand applicant tracking systems. Now, applicant tracking systems are a way for recruiters to sort through large number of applications quickly. They are used by many, if not most, organizations at the moment. So it's important that you are positioning yourself in a way to appeal to applicant tracking systems. They are finicky. Finicky is a good word. You need to make sure that your resume is ideally a simple layout. So knowing that applicant tracking systems aren't always able to process information that's in a text box or a table or within a header is all really important to make sure your important information is being seen during the screening process. Also, in order to appeal to the applicant tracking systems, we always suggest to graduates that you should be scanning any job posting that you're interested in for keywords and phrases. And we suggest that you include these keywords and phrases on your resume and cover letter. This, again, helps appeal to the applicant tracking system. It helps pull your application forward so that it is reviewed by a recruiter. I wanted to also mention AI-generated documents. So we are, of course, in a world where AI is becoming more prevalent. We use it all as a tool to, cut down on our time and give us back some time. I rarely suggest using AI-generated resumes or cover letters. AI-generated documents are fairly easy to spot. And they are spotted very easily by applicant tracking systems. And with this being said, they are often discarded and not reviewed by the applicant tracking systems. So if you use the AI-generated resumes and cover letters, you run the risk of not being considered for the opportunity. If you do take the time to create a resume or a cover letter with an AI generator, definitely take the time to review it, to customize it, and to keep all of the suggestions about applicant tracking systems in mind. And definitely play around with the formatting and make sure you make it your own. Next slide, please. So interviewing, which I would say most students and graduates are the least comfortable with. We are here to help you through the interviews. We're here to help set you up for success and to help you prepare. You can think of us as a mentor. We are available to do mock interviews with you. We're available to go through common interview questions with you, to workshop some answers and responses. We ask you to let us know if you have an upcoming interview. If you want that support, we are here. When it comes to preparing for an interview, we always suggest practicing. So take the time to consider those common interview questions and again, workshop those responses. Practice them out loud in front of the mirror, when you're outside walking your dog, in the shower, whatever you're comfortable with, but preparation is key. One suggestion I always give to students and graduates is when you're considering the interview questions that might be asked, also consider what information the recruiter might be trying to get from asking that question. That will help you formulate a potential response. And again, you'll be able to walk into that interview feeling prepared. At the bottom of the screen, we mentioned how you can help yourself. And this is a tip for building your confidence within the industry, also creating some connections and getting to know some individuals who work within the future industry. We suggest networking. So any type of event that you can get yourself involved in, will you be able to make those connections? It's definitely a fantastic opportunity. Join industry-specific associations. That's a great way to meet some individuals, shake some hands, get some cards. Career fairs are also a fantastic way. You can walk around, mingle, and again, make some connections. And then, of course, volunteering. Volunteering is a great way to make connections and possibly get some references and establish yourself within the community. So a lot of opportunities to build your profile, even if you're not necessarily working. Next slide, please. All right. So we have another poll question with regards to difficult interview questions.
We'll bring up the poll. Can everybody see the poll question? Thank you.
And these are all questions that you will be asked on an interview, regardless of an entry-level application you might be making, or whether you're further along in your career. You will be asked each of these. Interesting.
Still need some submissions, so I encourage you to select the option. I've received 9 responses so far. Keep going. That way, there we go. Numbers increasing.
Maybe the people on the webinar tonight don't have any problem with these ones.
Could be that as well. The numbers did go up. There we go. I'll give it maybe 10 more seconds and then share the results for the end poll and pass it over to Jacqueline.
Thanks, Cecile. So no surprise that there are splits in the vote. They're all challenging questions. Of course, tell me about yourself. Most people are uncomfortable speaking about themselves. So that's one I always recommend preparing a bit of an elevator pitch. Sit down, think about your past experience, think about how you can relate it to the position you're interviewing for. This is not the time to mention children, dogs, things along those lines. Do your best to keep it focused on the professional matters. Tell me about your biggest weakness is one of the ones that makes our graduates the most uncomfortable. Again, you definitely want to be realistic. I've had a lot of people throughout the years who have tried to deflect with a joke or who have given some curious answers. But again, keep it professional and pick a weakness that is true, but that you can also provide suggestions on how you're actively working to improve in that area. One that a lot of individuals will use, and it applies to a lot of people, is that they take on too much and they get overwhelmed. If you were to use that as a response, I would immediately jump in and say, I'm actively working to become organized. I time block my day to help me focus on the tasks at hand, something along those lines. And then the last one, do you have any questions for me? The answer is yes. Always have questions for them. Prepare some before you walk into the interview. And then, of course, you can always take a notepad and a pen and jot down any questions you may think of as you work through the interview itself and ask them. It's your opportunity to also interview the company as well. Next slide, please. All right, so let's apply for a job. When you are ready to apply for a position, and I will give an example in just a moment, I always suggest that you do your research. Look into the company, read up about them, make sure the position is something you see as being a good fit for you. Review the key skills that are being asked for on the job posting. Make sure they align with your background, with your experience, and again, customize your documents to make sure it reflects to the recruiter that alignment is there. As you're applying to jobs, as you're looking through postings, we suggest being open-minded. So you may have a specific career goal in mind, and that is fantastic. Sometimes there may need to be some stepping stones before you get to that dream career. With that being said, again, we're always here to discuss what that career path might look like. So be open-minded, send out many applications, things work out. So definitely be open-minded. Difficult interview questions we just covered, but again, be prepared, spend some time formulating responses so that you can walk into that interview and feel confident in how you're presenting yourself. And the last note says follow up, thank you, and I'm interested. So that is referring to following up after the interview. It does wonders to send a quick email, to connect with individuals on LinkedIn and send them a message after the interview, just to show how much this position means to you, to show them that you're interested and that you're going above and beyond compared to maybe the other candidates that they interviewed as well. All right, I'm going to stop sharing the presentation and then I'll share my job application I wanted to show everyone.
Jacqueline, you should be able to. I've enabled multiple sharing, so that should allow you to share as well.
Thank you so much. Okay, can you see my screen? All right,
Yes.
so I have pulled up a posting from Indeed. There's a variety of different job search engines that you can utilize. Indeed is a fantastic one, and it pulls together a lot of opportunities all across the country. So that is the one I tend to gravitate towards. LinkedIn can be fantastic. There are other ones as well. But for tonight's purposes, I have used a posting from Indeed. The very first thing that I suggest is reading the job posting in full. Take in all of the details and make sure it is suitable to your goals and to your skill set. With that being said, I wanted to show this posting in particular for a number of reasons. So it does list the specific company that you'd be applying to. This gives you an opportunity to do some research on the organization. Now, this posting actually does list the clinic director as well. So what I would do is, if I was interested in this role, I would search Julie Desjardins. I would look her up on LinkedIn. I would see a bit about her background, and maybe even connect with her through LinkedIn out of interest. I always suggest to students and graduates to also save a copy of any application that you are applying to. You can screenshot it, you can print it off, you can email it to yourself, whatever works for you. The reason I suggest saving it is that if you do get a call back from your application, you can then review the posting to see exactly what they were asking. You may have sent in 15 posts or 15 applications that week, and it's easy to forget the details. So in saving the posting itself, before an interview, you can remind yourself of the details, what they were looking for, refresh your memory, and you'll be able to walk in and have a really solid interview. So if I was working my way through this job posting, I would do the research on the company, connect with the clinical director on LinkedIn. I would also scan the job description. Job descriptions always outline the type of person they are looking for to fill the role. You can think of a job posting as a wish list. It's not necessarily, they're not necessarily going to find somebody who meets all of the criteria. It is a wish list, but it gives you an opportunity to see the type of person they are hoping to connect with. Also gives you an opportunity to pull out some keywords. So in your profile, on your cover letter, you could describe yourself as outgoing if that's the truth. You could use the words detail-oriented if that applies to you. This position asks specifically for bilingual. So bilingual French and English. You would want to make sure that on your application, it is clearly outlined that you speak fluently both French and English. Taking these little steps and customizing your application will make a huge difference in getting noticed. So again, there's a little write-up about the company. It goes back to the research component. Scroll a little bit further and it again gives you more information about the type of person they are looking for. So it uses the words excellent communication skills. Make sure those words apply on your documents. Again, appeal to the applicant tracking systems by pulling words directly from the job posting. The qualifications section is one you're definitely going to want to scan. This particular posting asks for 2 to 3 years of experience in client care and customer service. So it's not asking specifically for administrative experience. It's asking for client care, or customer service, which you can use transferable skills to relate to that. Maybe you worked in a call center or in retail or in a help desk type role. That would be relevant. That's related experience. From there, there's also some technical requirements. Excuse me. So there's also some technical requirements. So on the posting itself, it mentions Google Workspace, Canva, Jane's electronic management scheduling software. If you have experience with any of that, you would want to make sure that's reflected on your documents, or even technology or software that is similar in nature. Make sure it's reflected on your resume and cover letter. And again, I mentioned scanning and reading the posting from top to bottom. This is why it's important. So not only is this application asking for a resume and a cover letter, it is also asking that all applicants complete the Big 5 personality test, and they provide a link, and they would like to see the results. So if you were to apply very quickly without reading the posting in full, you would have missed that, and your application may have been discarded. So again, just a few things keep in mind. Really go through the detail and position yourself in a way that your experience, your education is valuable to the position.
Thank you, Jacqueline.
From here, I'm going to hand it back over to Mike.
Oh, you're on mute, Mike.
I was going to say thanks, Jacqueline. There's a ton of information there. Gone are the days of you go to school, you put together your, I took an accounting program, or I took a cybersecurity program, whatever it is. I'm a graduate, I've earned my diploma, and you've got a stock standard resume, and you submit that, and it's the same resume, same cover letter, although you might change who you're addressing it to. You just keep handing those in, a shotgun approach. Those days are gone. Technology is caught up, and there's a lot that can help you, but there's a lot that helps the organization weed out applicants. And if they end up getting a lot of qualified individuals, they may just pick the first 5 to interview and see how that goes. You want to make sure that you are doing something that captures their attention, that it's clean, that it's professional looking. And again, those keywords, like Jacqueline said, there's so much value that a practicum and employment specialist can help you with. So when you're applying for a position, you might even, before you submit the application, call up Jacqueline and say, can you look at this job posting, look at my resume? And she's going to make sure that not only do you have those keywords in there, but you're demonstrating on where and how you acquired that skill. It's really important. So what does success look like? Success looks like this. You've chosen to go back to school. You've worked really hard. You've got near perfect attendance, except for that one day that you had a cold and you didn't show up. You've got great marks. You go out on practicum, and you're not going to be able to do everything in practicum that you do in your course of study. You can't take 8 months worth of theory and then in 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks, demonstrate all of those things. But you go in, you demonstrate growth, commitment, that you've learned, that you've worked well in their environment, because you might have all the technical certifications that they want and then some. But if you can't collaborate with the people that are going to be a part of the team that you're on, there's no position for you. So you've gone, you've learned, you've demonstrated, you then tweak your resume and your cover letter to reflect your practicum, go out, you apply for work, and eventually you get the job. May not be your dream job, but like Jacqueline said, some stepping stones through to working your way through your career. This isn't just acquiring entry level and its success. We want to position you for a successful and long career. So at Willis College, we do stand behind the goal of successful student outcomes. The president of the company, when he hired me, joked that I have the easiest job in the organization. Just had to make sure that 100% of our graduates were gainfully employed in their chosen field of study, right? Easy, no problem, right? We will work hard with you. We will work hard for you. And every bit of effort you put in, we will mirror it and match it. We can't go on the interview for you. We can help you behind the scenes with your resume and practicing interviews and all the things that Jacqueline spoke about. And how long do we do that for? We do it for life. That's our commitment to you. We offer lifetime services to our alumni. So we've had people who have said, I found work after my program of study. I've been there 2 years, 3 years, but there's nowhere for me to get promoted right now within the organization. Will you help me out? The answer is yes. We'll continue to send you job postings. We'll work on your resume and refresh it and update the past 2 to 3 years experience that you've got. We will continue to work with you. 90% of our graduates are working in their field of study. That's a fact across the entire Willis system. In the past 5 years, I shared this statistic with Jacqueline beforehand, and we were really impressed. Over my career, I know I've helped out hundreds, if not thousands, of people in secure employment. I know Jacqueline's great at what she does, as is the rest of the team. But in the past 5 years, 2,380 students we have, or graduates rather, we have confirmed that they are employed. And that's because we've heard directly from them. We get asked all the time, practicum, it's there so that, the company can try before they buy, so to speak. Like, they're going to hire me, right? If you send me to that company, they're going to hire me. We can't make promises like that. You haven't set foot in their door yet. You haven't endeared yourself to them, shown them how hard that you're willing to work, brought and demonstrated your new skills as well as your transferable skills to the table. Practicum is there to get you experience, open up your network, and almost all the students that we send out on practicum, they get a good practicum evaluation and they meet the hours requirement that we set out, as the programs are registered programs with various regulators across the country. And 28 to 33% of students are hired out of their practicum. So the reason why I put that range in there is that it varies from time of year, it varies from program to program, but it's 28 to 33%. So if you think about it, a quarter to a third of all people that go out on their practicum get hired. It's a pretty impressive statistic. We've got so many wonderful success stories. We thought that we would each pick one and share it with you. We had a student who joined our accounting payroll technician program, Olamide. She's a single mother of 3. She's working 2 part-time jobs, a lot of evenings, a lot of weekends. Didn't have a great work-life balance. Was missing out on her children growing up, which none of us want to do. And Ola decided to take a program. She worked really hard. I don't know how she balanced working 2 jobs, the children's needs, school needs, but she did it, and she got hired on by an organization. It wasn't her practicum organization, but she got a great evaluation that she was sharing in the interviews. She actually brought a copy of it with her. And she ended up quitting those two jobs and taking an accounting payroll technician position with an organization where she suddenly had a Monday to Friday. She could drop her kids off to school. She could pick them up. She was spending evenings with them. She had her weekends free for the first time in, she was saying 15 years. That's the type of success story that we in the career services department, and we share those stories with other people. It makes this job really, really fulfilling. Jacqueline, I know you had one you wanted to share.
I'll share a bit about a former IT student, cyber student, by the name of Alana. She was a very strong student. She went on to work within the government and did a fantastic job of working her way up. And most recently, she was recognized for assisting with the recent G7 in Kananaskis. So she helped with their connectivity and cybersecurity needs, which is phenomenal. And she's very proud. We're all very proud of her as well.
Nice. Yeah, there's a lot of energy and passion in what everybody does at Willis. We're all in the positions that we have for good reason, and we're here to work hard for you so that you can graduate and work hard and grow your earning potential and enhance your career. So with that, I'm going to turn it back to you, Asil.
Thank you, Mike. I will continue along, and that brings me to the lifelong learning program we have at Willis College. As you know, as I'll go back to few steps, and as Jacqueline and Mike were explaining that while you're enrolled in school, you have support, but that's something when you are in the program, you are looking for employment. Now, let's assume you have secured an employment, and after working for that particular employer for a certain number of years, you feel like there is a change and you need upgrading of skills. For example, we'll build on the accounting student that Mike used to share the success story. Let's assume if they're using Sage and QuickBooks, and if we go back like 2 3 years, the platforms that were used were mostly desktop based, and now the transition is taking place where all of the accounting programs are also transferring into an online environment. Quite a few benefits: online flexibility, you can access it from any location. So if you do need to sharpen your skills again, learn that program. So as a lifelong learner, Willis graduate can always come back and upgrade, keep up with the latest trends, for example, softwares, as well as it could be any changes in the industry as well. When we look at the cyberspace, CompTIA often does revise its certifications in a couple of years as well. It's eligible for all Willis College programs. Again, you have that same support from the career services team as well. There, you don't have to pay any tuition fees that are associated with it, and there is no expiry date as well. So this is one of the major thing that we want all of the attendees to know and keep in mind that, as a learner, even after your graduation as alumni, you have doors open to you to come back and upgrade and gather those essential skills that are necessary. I'll bring up a poll question just to, have a little bit of, awareness around it. So watch out the screen for like 2 3 seconds. You'll see another poll question coming up, and I promise this will be the last poll question. And do remember, this is a multi-select option, so you might want to keep that in mind. It is not set up same way like the one which was set up before.
You're helping them too much, Asil. You're like the tutor.
See responses coming in. We'll give it another 10 15 seconds before we close the poll. Right, ending in a bit, and I will share the results. So as you all can see the results, it's eligible for all Willis College programs, whether you have taken cybersecurity, whether you have taken medical office administrator, whether you have taken accounting and payroll technician, all programs are part of that. Lifetime career services to help you find new employment. Michael will be there, Jacqueline will be there, they will be there to assist you. No course fee, as I said, no program fees associated with it, no expiry date as well. And that brings to an end. But do remember this. This is a very valuable piece of information, and we do often see folks coming back to upgrade in courses such as routing and switching in cyberspace and software programs in accounting as well. Apart from that, I would still like to share a little bit of information about the supports that we have in place. To begin with, we have student services team that is your first point of contact before you officially start in the program, because you will be attending success workshops, you will be attending orientation. You can see them, you will touch base with them, they will make follow-up phone calls, emails to just make sure that you have the necessary information. That could include pieces such as setting up your email accounts, ensuring that you have checked your devices before time, that you have most updated Zoom versions, you have appropriate time settings done on your devices, and so on. So they will be there throughout the journey, before you start, during your journey, and after you have graduated as well. If you have any questions, they definitely are around. And in addition to that, you also have faculty heads that provide you support throughout your journey. And let's remember about the student portal as well. Student portal is the sort of very similar to the, not essentially learning management system, but a support platform that we have for all learners at Willis, where there it's a single sign-on, where which allows you to look up the ebooks, also transition to Moodle, which is the learning management system. Also have all documents that are associated with your enrollment in one place, such as it will show you your attendance information, it will show you your grades, it will have any essential information that is associated with admissions, anything associated with practicum, and so on. It also has a need assistance tab, which is one stop to go and look up information, whether you have questions about careers, whether you have questions about finance, and sort of so on. We also have partnership with some external vendors, such as Keep Me Safe. For example, after you enroll in a program, maybe there are changes as you are taking the program. It could be related to work, it could be related to personal life. We provide counseling services via them. All of the information is confidential. All of the cost is picked up by the Willis College. Students don't have to pay for it. They provide services in different languages. I believe it's close to maybe 100 plus languages that they provide services. And that is also additional tool that is offered to all students at Willis College. So those are few more. As you transition, you'll always have office hours support from the instructors. They are available to answer questions, usually 2 hours every day. So let's say if you attended lecture on Tuesday and you reviewed the recording, if you have questions, you can always meet instructor again. You can ask them, I reviewed the recording. This is where I feel a little bit of clarity is not coming up to me. Can you help me understand? You need assistance with assignment, projects, that's the case may be. They're there to support you. So there are lots of resources, lots of support, and we're here with you throughout the journey, right from inception up until the end point. You will come and you will have the opportunity, you will join classes, you'll have opportunity to touch base with multiple stakeholders as you navigate. So once again, I don't want to keep you much more, so I'll open the floor for questions. And if you do have questions, let me know via chat. I see one question coming in the Q&A session. So this is more of, you're looking for undergraduate degree program in technology, and you're saying you were unable to find any options, but I'll try to answer as much as I can regarding this. And I can always get an admissions advisor to connect with you on this one. But primarily, if you're looking on the technology sides, we have the programs we have are cybersecurity analyst. That is the longest program. Then we have the cybersecurity operator, as well as the help desk network technician. Now, we have had some graduates who have used the diploma that they have achieved and transition into a degree program. But more specifics, I can always get an admissions advisor to contact you. Just in case if you have any specific questions for our career services team as well, Michael and Jacqueline can answer that. I think, Jacqueline, you just provided the exact amount of information on how to review information on Indeed, and that might have got everyone to roll over to Indeed and get started. No more questions I see coming, so we'll wait one more minute and then I will uh, end the webinar. Once again, oh, there we go. I see one coming in for training. Abdul Trim, I appreciate you dropping the question. This seems more of towards the admissions side. So I can definitely interline with them and get the specific detail for you regarding this question. If you want to add your email in the chat directly to the host, either one of us, then we can ensure that a response will be sent to that email. If we have any other participants, and if you are taking time to type the question, just drop it in chat. That way we are aware, and in adventure, I do not close the webinar.
If anybody has any questions that they think of after the webinar ends, I'm just going to put career services at williscollege.com in the chat. If we get an email, I'd be happy to respond to that or forward it on to admissions, finance, ASIL, whomever the appropriate person was.
I think there is a question for you, Michael. So student can connect with career services many years after graduation.
Absolutely. We've had students come back to us from a variety of different disciplines. Usually we're the last point of contact with the college. So we've gotten questions about lifelong learning program. You know, there's a new version of this software. How do I go about, upgrading my education? I'm looking for, to make a move in my career. I graduated from Willis 5 years ago. Will you help me out? Yes, we will always help you out.
And to add to what Michael said, this question does come along a lot from both ends. So it could directly go to admissions, but sometimes it could directly go to career services, such as a candidate could be reaching out to Jacqueline and say, I completed this diploma. Right now I'm employed at so-and-so facility, and there is a need or a training need. I have to keep up with it. So that could be a touch base point as well. At that time, they are going to refer back all the potential graduates and alumni to revert back to the lifelong learning. That's why it's essential as it is a connecting bridge in throughout the program from admissions up until you have graduated. Great question. Thank you. I think that brings us to a conclusion. Thank you once again, everyone. We appreciate you taking time joining us today. If you do have questions which you feel like, oh, I forgot to ask about this, please send an email. Michael has shared email, which is for Career Services Department. And thank you for your time today. Take care.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.